Okay, I'd like to begin by answering the second question because it's a little complicated and it is lengthy, instead of repeating the question again. Such contract is invalid. Why? Even though a part of it is great, but the other part requires you to pay interest. And it is very obvious and clear. You said you have one of two choices: either finance through the bank with interest, of course, and this is illegal, or finance by owner. And in this case, the owner requires an interest rate to be paid, whether it's a lot or a little. That too is prohibited. It will be best from the beginning if the entire thing is financed by the owner in a way that the owner adds up his profit. Now we're not talking about interest. And he says from the beginning, I'm selling this house for X amount. So he adds up his profit and what he's looking for, and he says the entire amount is that much. You pay me monthly that much, without adding interest, without calculating interest, without putting a term that if you delay the payment, you pay the interest double and triple, or you pay interest at all. So to diffuse this problem is you buy it directly from the owner, and owner finance. He says, I'm selling it for this amount of money, and he calculates his profit and how much he wants to generate out of that. Away from you, you do not mention interest. He does not mention interest. It is not even stated in the contract. Even if he sells it more expensive than the market value, if you guys agree to that, that is perfectly fine. But once there is interest included, whether through the owner himself or the bank, then this contract is haram. Wallahu a'lam. As far as having an intimate relationship with one's spouse, then going to sleep, that too is permissible. It is not a must to perform ghusl immediately. It becomes only a must in order to catch the next prayer on its time. So if somebody at night had an intimate relationship which requires ghusl and did not perform ghusl, nor wudu, that is valid. But it is recommended to perform wudu, and the Prophet ﷺ used to do that, not just for going to sleep. If somebody had a relationship once and he wants to have a second relationship, performing wudu is some sort of refreshment as well. It does not remove the major impurity, of course. And that's why your question pertaining, if I do this wudu, will I be able to recite Ayatul Kursi and Al-Mu'awwidhat and the last two verses of Surah Al-Baqarah before going to sleep? Of course not, because you are in a state of temporary impurity, major temporary impurity. Temporary because you can easily remove it. Unlike a woman who is in post-delivery bleeding for 40 days more or less, or during the menses, it takes so long, 5, 6, 7 or more days. But for you, you can easily get up and take a shower and remove the major impurity. And it is major because with it you can neither pray nor read Quran nor enter the masjid. So the wudu is only to refresh yourself and to sleep on a condition of tuhur, but it does not remove the janabah.